Okay. All right, everybody. We are getting ready to start now. So, welcome back to Under Fractured Sky. This is episode 2, titled Uneasy Company. I am your dungeon master, Lady D. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And yes, like I mentioned, I am your dungeon master. So, with me tonight, I got a few of these miscreants I found outdoors, and we're gonna start. We're gonna start by introducing them to you. So, first, let me get rid of the music. Getting rid of it. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get things started by introducing everybody. First, let's hear from Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan. Pronouns are he, him, his, and I play the Komodo Dragon Lizard Folk Ranger, Jack.
Okay, great. All right, and Mega, tell us about yourself.
Jello, this is Mega. He, him, his, and I play the character Noba Ambrare, the cutie little wizard.
Okay, and Miyoko. Miyoko?
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Technical difficulties with microphone muting. Hi, I am Miyoko, she, hers. I play the Eye of the Forest, Tabaxi Warlock.
Thank you. And Dragon.
Get G'day. I'm Dragon. He his him. I'll be playing your no barbarian Usna. So yeah, let's have some fun.
All right. All right, and Bridget, please introduce yourself. Bridget? Oh, hang on. I think Bridget's having is she back? Bridget, are you with us?
Hello.
There we go. Okay. All right, Bridget, feel free to introduce yourself, please. I think we're having some connection issues. Apologies.
Here, can you hear me?
Uh, Barely. You're kind of roboting out a little bit. Tell you what. Why don't you exit the call and jump back in again? I'm going to move down the list. I'll do you at the end. Okay. All right. Okay. So Bridget's going to disconnect from the call and come back into it. So let's move on. Salix, tell us about yourself.
I am Salix Staff of Ice. I am he, him. I play the Rock Gnome Cleric Fringle Numbles.
Wonderful. And Cheryl, tell us about yourself.
I'm Cheryl, they, them pronouns. I play the fabulous half-orc bard Wayra Evenas.
Fantastic. And Zool, tell us who you are.
Hello, I'm Zool. Go by he, him, his, and I play the Cockatiel Kenku Paladin Avne de Bovo.
All right, and let's try Bridget one last time here. Bridget, please introduce yourself.
You all right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, we heard you.
Oh my goodness.
Can
Am I
you-
still coming in and out?
No, we can hear you just fine now. You can go ahead.
I'm having a hard time hearing you guys, so I'm just going to introduce myself while you can still hear me. I'm Bridget. I play the halfling rogue, and my pronouns are she, hers, and to
Yeah, that's
Canada, who I know is watching tonight.
All right. Well, fantastic. Okay. Bridget, why don't you see if you can work out the issues on your end? I'm sure the rest of the players will be able to help you along. Just going to let me see here. Oh no, get away from that. Sorry, I have multiple things open, and it's a little bit confusing. Sorry. Okay. So when last we left our heroes, question mark, they had all come to the. You're supposed to be muted. They had all come to the Boar's End Tavern in the small town of Baythery. There they had met with the colorful bartender, Regis Tabari, who was quite beleaguered by the night's events as people kept coming to him, presenting him strange objects of not ill repute, but, just of ill omen. There we go. Maybe I should practice these things. Anyway, so he was quite beleaguered, and the different team members were just sent to different areas of the bar, and we're going to pick things up with with our paladin cockatiel, Avne de Belvo. So, Avne, you are at this bar, and you were taken to a booth in the corner, led along by a small kobold, dressed like a ninja and with a rather large boomerang on her back. Or you think it's a boomerang, you're not really sure. It's a big crazy weapon. Let me get a picture up of her just so the people at home can see. And son of a, did I delete it? I might have deleted it. No.
That's fine.
Please hold.
Technical difficulties. There's so many technical difficulties.
Now, who gave you permission to chime in like that?
I
Oh
will
my-
always take any opportunity to sing.
Okay, alright. Why am I... Son of a monkey, I can't... Hang on, please hold. What in the blue and yellow? Well, apologies. A picture of her is going to have to wait until later. Okay, so... Yes, so Avne, you are sitting in this bar corner with this strange kobold dressed as a ninja, and she's just sitting there drinking what looks to be tea out of a little cup. And what are you drinking? What was your drink of choice?
What was available?
Pretty much anything your heart could desire.
Well, I'd say Avni would get probably like an ale or something, but hardly ever touch it.
Okay, all right. So you have a tankard of ale in front of you, and Momo, the kobold that you've come to learn her name, is just sitting there drinking, waiting, seeming rather introspective. So what would you do?
With all due respect, milady, why have you called me over here?
It's at that point that Momo's eyes just drift up to you, and they are stone steady. And she's just looking at you. But she resumes sipping her tea without answering you.
I shall repeat myself if that's alright with you. Is there a specific reason you brought me over here when I mentioned a Fletcher at Montrose?
We're waiting.
Waiting for what?
We are waiting to meet Fletcher.
But the bartender said he was dead.
The bartender's correct.
Beg your pardon?
You never heard of a code word before, have you?
I am aware of words. This is just rather a strange one.
Well, this is a rather strange complication, should we say. Right now, we are merely in a holding pattern. We're waiting for my employer to be able to observe this gift that you brought for a dead man and decide what's to be done with you from there. And she says that with absolute stone dead conviction. Like, you don't know what she's going to plan, but she's pretty damn serious about whatever it is.
Can I roll insight on her?
You go right ahead.
Alright, cool. Where is it? There you are.
Don't forget to call your roll.
Yep, that's 17.
17 total?
17, yes. Total.
Okay, so you can at least sense that she is not hostile towards you yet. So you are not in any mortal danger from her, anyways, while sitting here. And so far, she's being, completely plain and honest, just not about the particular whys and whats.
Pardon me, what do you mean dealt with?
She sighs exasperatedly. Okay. What do you know about that box that you have there?
Evney just looks at it and then looks back at Momo. I don't know much about it. I was given to it by a lady, by a begging woman in High Warden.
High Warden. Okay. All right. And she ponders for a moment. She puts her finger to her chin and looks down at her cup of tea sitting on the table before her. Okay. About how long ago was this?
Yeah, how long ago was it?
It was a couple weeks.
Okay. Just a couple of weeks prior of me getting here.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, yeah, that timeline works out. And, okay, what... Did this woman look remarkable at all to you?
Did she just look like a normal woman?
Well, she looked just like any average human. She had a face, she had hair, eyes, ears.
Okay.
Teeth, she had a few teeth at least.
I hope. Alright, she just looked like any other human woman that I've seen. Although, to be fair, I do recall that she had stuffing coming out of her dress.
Stuffing?
I believe she was pretending to be an actress of sorts.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Would you know anything about that?
Oh, I know a lot about that.
How so?
That's complicated, and that part's going to have to wait.
All right.
She takes another sip. You're not sure what she means by any of this.
Yeah, you're right. I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't. It's almost like I'm being intentionally obfuscating of this.
Wink, wink, wink.
Oh, hold on. I gotta cut my mic volume just a tad because I just noticed it peaking. Okay. All right, yeah, that's much better. Okay. She's just taking another sip of her tea. Just being awkwardly silent.
Then how about I ask you this? What can you tell me about this?
Well, I can tell you that this Fletcher Montrose that you were sent to give that package to,
Yes.
you were sent to give him that package. That's literally all I can tell you right here and there, because we're kind of in a not a dangerous spot, not by any means. We're just it's a little too complicated for me to explain, and yeah, so I'm not going to. And she kind of gives a coy smirk and takes another sip of her tea.
You can at least try.
Oh, I can certainly try, but I'm not going to.
And why is that?
It's a secret.
And how is it a secret if I'm involved?
Well, you'll be let in on the secret soon enough.
All right. Whatever you say.
Mm.
So you can see Avonite's grown like visibly impatient, but trying to keep their cool.
You've kind of asked a lot about why you're being brought aside, but not really a whole lot about, who she is or what she does.
So, I suppose if we're done talking about the parcel, then why don't we start with who you are?
Oh, yeah, of course. My name is Momo Stony Eyes. And she says that as her eyes kind of. They are indeed quite stony. They are a deep jet black. Um, and boy, are they, like, just affixed to everything that, like, she happens to be looking at.
I see you live up to your name.
Indeed I do. She sips her tea again.
Anything else you would like to tell me about yourself, Miss Momo?
Stony Eyes.
Stony Eyes, yes.
Well, I have this thing. It's rather neat.
And what is it?
She's pointing at her boomerang. And by the way, I finally got that picture up for everybody. So here's ooh, that was weird. Here's Momo Stony Eyes, a illustration for y'all to look at.
Yeah.
You're the first person to look at that and not ask, what does that do?
Well, I don't believe I've seen such a craft myself.
Indeed. This is called a slangarang.
Interesting name.
Thank you, I came up with it myself. She says that with just like a look of a killer, like, yeah.
I see you're very proud of yourself for that name.
Indeed I am. That was her sipping her tea again.
Beautiful.
You notice that, like, every time that she drinks, like, the tea just magically refills just a little bit.
Just looks over at the bartender, then back over.
The bartender is currently dealing with what looks to be a large lizard folk, and he seems to be rather upset by the dealings of this evening.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is supposed to be kind of a secret, so don't look around or anything like that, or at least not obviously. You don't know who's watching.
Yes, of course.
We're reasonably safe here, but who knows?
I hope I'm not participating in any illegal activity.
What would illegal be to you?
Unlawful
Whose laws?
of my own code.
Are you the supreme arbiter of all laws all of a sudden?
No, but I'm a paladin of a clergy, and I will live by that title.
Well, let me just say, it's going to go against someone's laws.
Someone?
Yeah, someone.
And who would be this someone?
Oh, I may have already said too much.
I don't believe you said enough.
I know you do. Or don't. Whichever. I'm not used to this language. It's very strange to me.
And that's something we can agree on.
Is there anything else you would like to question her about, or?
Unless she wants to question me about stuff.
Oh, she doesn't really give a crap. Sorry.
That's fair.
All right. Okay.
I guess Avney will try to take a sip of the ale.
It's not
They
bad.
won't like it.
It's not bad. It's a good ale. Coming from your limited experience of ale, like really, you've had sips here and there, but it's not bad.
Not bad. But yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. All right. So now that we've taken care of that, let us go back to the bar where Regis, the seemingly gray elf bartender with the bizarre black eyes, is just kind of just finished talking with a large lizard folk and telling him to go and take a seat at the end of the bar. And at the end of the bar with this lizard folk, we also see a strangely dressed young man, covered in rags, looks like, or a large scarf. We see a small halfling, obviously a rogue of some sort. And, oh, bear with me just a moment. Apologies, everyone. I believe we may have lost one of our players.
No, Bridget, we're fixing a mic issue, but Bridget will be back shortly.
Okay. All right. I will proceed as normal. These things happen, internet issues, connection issues and the like. So yes. All right. So now let me continue setting up the scene. We see a halfling dressed in a fine skirt, seemingly kind of on the shady side. And let's see, who else was here? Crud, I already forgot who was also here.
Me.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. And also a very large, very brutish looking gnoll, a young gnoll though. Definitely looks like he can handle himself in a fight. Has his wrists taped up, and yeah, so we join these four people at the end of the bar. So Dan, so Shaq, you were just told to take a seat at the end of the bar.
Yeah, and I was given a drink, which I'm gonna quickly down, just straight down, and then go sit with the others.
Okay. So also joining you here, more or less, is a very, very unconscious gnome, uh, an elderly fellow. He's got a long mustache, long gray beard, big, long green cap. I forget what they're called. It's like a sock hat of some sort. Um, and he's just like passed out with a drink in front of him. And so the four of you are sitting together.
Yeah. Uh, you see Usha just shifting through like a small pouch, going maybe in. Feck it. Pulls out three gold coins, puts them on the bench, and says, and just pushes them forward. Looks back down to the barkeep and just goes, "Whiskey, and keep it coming, please."
All right, just a minute. That's Regis, by the way. That's Regis's new voice that is less stressful to me. And he appears to reach under the counter, and instantly a shot of whiskey just appears right in front of you. There you go.
Yeah.
And your gold disappears.
Cheers. Mainly just shoots it back. Shoots it back and just starts and it's just now just sitting at the bar.
Okay, Nova, what do you think of this this stuff going on?
Honestly, Nova is maybe just a little bit frightened. He's, this very large being is just like, like really slamming down the alcohol, and and he's just kind of like uncomfortably, like he kind of has like his staff between his legs on account that he's sitting now, and he's kind of like nursing his water, trying desperately not to look too, trying not to look like he is obviously looking in this creature's direction.
Okay. All right. So Shaq, you are approaching this very nervous human question mark, and this very not drunk yet, but he's working on it. This striped knoll fellow just knocking back shot glass after shot glass of whiskey.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look, kind of glance between these two, and since I seem to find the knoll a little bit more dangerous looking, I'm gonna sit next to the human-looking fellow, since according to me, he doesn't. He's kind of I can't even find the word to say it. Not passive, but not really a threat. So he's gonna sit down right next to him, and he's gonna, because he doesn't really have any table manners, he's gonna put the bow right on top of the bar.
Nova's startled.
Hey, don't you have a strap for that thing that you could just sling around your back? Because we don't actively have a no weapons rule here, but it's kind of bad taste.
That's
Oh, it's I haven't. I guess I didn't really think of that. I'm sorry.
I was talking to the guy who slammed a bow down on my bar.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And he just kind of gets quiet again.
Yeah, no worries, kid. And Ren just goes back to just wiping out that same bar glass. Actually, it's a different one than before because the other one he gave away earlier. I don't recall to whom, but I think it was think it was Tuera, but anyway, different bar glass, same basic design. They're pretty similar. And there's also just a small halfling there, just kind of sitting on the bar stool, still looking way too short for the bar, just sipping at a mug of ale.
Jack is gonna. Well, he glances at Renjus and just kind of doesn't really say anything. Just leaves the bow where it is, since he wasn't told to take it off. And he's gonna look to the others. The what bring you here?
No, hmm, no, none of your none of your none of your business, dear lizard boy. Slams back slams back another shot.
Now you gotta be careful with what you say there, cause I ain't no boy.
Just originally just slouched over the bar, just straightens up and just looks over. Now is actually paying attention to his surroundings. Looks over to this lizard folk. Hmm. Are you also heading to? You also following Regis later tonight?
Not quite. Come here looking for someone. With at least the information to find someone.
But who who are you looking for?
Some big fucker in black armor. I don't really have any other information besides that. But as soon as I find him, I don't even know what to do with that. But for now, I gotta try to track him down.
Don't don't have to worry about you then. Just slouches backs over the bar. Just slouches back down to his drink and just keeps to him and just starts keeps to himself really. English.
He kind of gives a little nod, like seeing that he's not a threat. He's a tough guy. I respect that. But he looks over to little human-looking fella. He's like, "What about you? You ever see a big person in black armor?"
Uh, Sorry, I haven't seen many people. Just I I don't get out much.
Well, couldn't have hurt to have asked, but I have to ask one more question. Did you happen to see who stole that wee gnome's drink? And he reaches over and he's gonna try to take the drink from the passed out gnome.
It's at that moment that the gnome clasps his hand around your wrist. I'm drinking that.
You got sharp eyes.
You could say that. You'd be wrong, but you could say that. And that's when he sits up, and his eyes are actually just completely glazed over with like a milky sheen. This gentleman's blind.
Huh.
Sir, are you okay?
I'm fine. I was just having a nap.
In a place like this?
Yeah, well, things I do these days, mostly drinking and sleeping, and, if you get them both done at the same spot. Ugh. And he spits out a little bloody chunk into a spittoon that's like conveniently next to his chair. Been waiting for that one to come up. And he takes a drink of his ale.
At which point Jack has already let go.
You better have.
Well, perhaps you have. Well, I was gonna say if you've seen him, but maybe you smelled him or heard him. Anyone big, armor. I don't know if that helps.
A
But
big. Listen, Fred. Ugh. I'm a gnome, so by default, everybody's big to me except for this little lady over here. I presume a halfling, just gauging just on sound. And it's at that point that the halfling next to you two just kind of nods quietly. Yep. And somehow he heard that nod. Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a place like this, you ask an old fart like me if he's heard anybody big in armor. Kind of gotta narrow it down a bit, son.
I can probably do that. He carries a sword so big, it doesn't even seem likely he could even lift it.
Hmm. Yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah. That's a good detail, son, but you're gonna have to come a little bit more than that.
Well, from what I can tell, it might be enchanted with magic of some sort. From what I could see, it was glowing all sorts of different colors.
Glowing all sorts of different colors.
Well, it was kind of glowing a bit of red and green, if I can remember right. And his armor was black. Not that I don't think it would help none.
I know what black is. That's all I see. It's a joke, son.
Yes, a joke. Well, it's kind of a joke that I thought that I might find the information here, but I was given a bit of a, let's call it a parcel when told me to come here.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my drinking and my napping.
You do that.
I will.
All right then.
Pleasant dreams, sir.
Oh, I forgot you were here. I was so engaged with this old fellow.
I'm not old.
Coat.
Well then,
I'm 93.
it's pretty old to me.
You don't know how long gnomes live, do you, son?
Maybe I do, and most likely I don't. And he kind of gives us a little smirk. Not that you probably see it.
Can I please roll an intelligence check to see if I can know how old gnomes live for?
Yeah, you can.
A really long time.
Oh, did you roll it?
Yep, rolled a 5.
Oh, okay. So in the future, did you roll it on roll 20 or did you?
Yeah, I rolled on roll 20.
Oh, weird. Didn't drop for me. Anyway, okay. So you rolled a 5. Yeah. You have no idea.
Just shrugs, turns back to what I'm hoping is a permanently refilling glass of whiskey.
Yeah, it's at that point that Ren just comes over. He snaps his fingers to make your whiskey refill, and
Cheers.
it's when he looks, and then he looks at Jack. So, hey, thought you would have caught the hint, but clearly I didn't throw it hard enough. So, get that bow off my bar.
He looks up at the bartender and kind of gives a soft nod, remembering that he has a gun at his side, and he takes the bow off the bar.
You don't even
And
know
it's
what a
just
gun is, though. You failed
well,
that.
he as as far as they know, it's a weird crossbow.
There you go. That works, I
Yeah.
guess.
So he's got in his left hand, he's just holding the bow and just kind of nods to Ren.
They make straps for those that you can, put it around your shoulder. I definitely recommend looking into that once we're done here tonight.
I'll take your word for it, but never usually had to carry it for so long as I have before.
And he just kind of saunters off because he has no interest in conversation right now. All right.
Nova just continues to sip from his water.
Yeah, and we're just going to take just a quick moment. Okay, so our fourth player might be able to join this scene in just a moment. So while we're waiting, so Nova, what are you doing now?
Nova is very visibly nervous about really about the whole situation. Just one side to him like this hulking thing of a creature just like downing alcohol like he doesn't even know, and the other like possibly almost have gotten into a fight with a bartender. So he's feeling very small.
All right, so Shaq, why don't you give an insight check just to see if you notice this.
Sure thing. First, I need to open up my journal here. Insight, where are you at? That is that's a 23.
23. Hot damn. Okay, so yeah, this man is nervous. Very nervous. Trembling, basically sitting there in his boots trembling, I guess. Honk honk.
Kind of just looks down at Nova, noticing the trembling and the fear, and kind of just stares at him. Do I make you nervous?
Maybe a little. It's I have never been around your kind before. I have read about you, but
And what have you read?
well, some things. Can I roll maybe how roll exactly like what I know about lizard folk?
Yeah, roll history with advantage.
Oh, wrong tab. That'll be. I can't see it now. Ah, there it is. That'll be 23.
Okay, yeah. So here's what you know about lizard folk. So lizard folk basically come from, excuse me. Okay, wow. I told myself I wasn't gonna do a rough voice like that again, and I did. I'm a friggin' liar. Oh, apologies.
FYI, I live.
Okay, so Dragon's back. So here's what you know about lizard folk. They basically come mostly in two varieties here. There's the Komodo dragon type, which our friend here is, and there's also there's also alligator type lizard folks who are a part of this world. They tend to come from the southern continents and the southern islands. And they tend to live in just sort of clannish backgrounds, not backgrounds, clannish nomadic lifestyles. Some of them, live in cities as well. Um, but yeah, that's what you know about lizard folk. You've been very well read on them.
But but I know that you like to live in clans and that you like to live in the south, and I think at a Komodo, which is very interesting. But is it? And like he starts prattling like this information on, like he's like starting to get in a more comfortable position because he's used to doing this sort of thing with it, like in his spare time, like almost gushing.
Jack just kind of he smiles a bit, and he's like, "Well, I'm actually kind of surprised someone actually knows, and you no longer seem scared. Got to admit that
Oh,
makes me a bit happy."
oh, it's the it's that I spend a lot of time reading, so I I've had a lot to learn. Still learning, but it makes me happy, I guess.
Well, depending on what you know, and well, you know what? Maybe you ought to learn to know some more about us. One of these days, how about I show you some of our fine cooking?
Oh, you cook?
A little bit. My mama taught me.
Oh yeah. And he kind of goes quiet for a second. Yeah, the mothers are like that.
Hmm. I see. Perhaps we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Uh, my uh, my name is Noba, by the way.
Oh, Nova. The name's Jacques.
It's nice to meet you. And he like holds out his hand.
He looks down at your hands, and he looks down at his scalier clawed hand. He very carefully grips it, trying not to scratch you.
Nova appreciates this. And he kind of like he doesn't give like a strong grip. You can definitely tell he has not like done this much in his life.
He hasn't really done it either, so it's just kind of like the little like jiggle of a handshake. It's kind of like nervous. Like I think I'm doing it right.
This is adorable. That's above game. Wait, who was that just growling just then?
Me.
Oh, okay.
I'm-
So is that your reaction to this?
Yes, that's my reaction to the cutesiness between the new friendship being made.
So
Nova
this-
actually is startled by that, like, ugh.
Do you not like this? And Jack turns and looks at Usnar.
Ugh. None of my business. None of my business, but you're in earshot, so of course it becomes my business.
You know,
About to
drinking
shoot back-
too much
about to shoot
alcohol
back.
can be bad for you.
Pause for the minute. About to down the next shot. Goes. All right, I probably need to keep my wits for tonight. I haven't gone through all that free gold yet, right?
Oh, what?
I haven't drunk 3 worths of gold yet, right?
Look, if you just give it like 3 seconds, and he snaps his finger, and boom, there's.
Oh no, I was actually looking more forward to getting the rest of the gold back that I haven't drunk because it's my last shot.
All right.
Don't you pull that no refund? Thank you.
So then he snaps his finger on his other hand, and shit. What is the appropriate cost for that?
It's like copper. It's like copper piece, like 10 copper pieces for a drink of that. for like a drink, so I gave you 3 gold's worth. So I
Okay, well, then you get. Let's see, how many did you knock back?
don't know, about 10 at this point.
Jesus. Okay.
I
Well, then you get
I
2
just
gold
started
back.
and didn't stop.
You get 2 gold back. Then that makes it easy.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you're cut off, then, and he snaps his finger again, and the shot glass disappears.
Damn it, I was gonna keep that.
Nova's
well.
awed by this. How did you do that?
No. What?
How did you do that?
Oh, it's
I've never seen that before.
It's a trade secret. Bartender stuff. And he goes back to awkwardly wiping the mug.
Magic.
You could say
But yes,
that.
magic. But there's all sorts of magic.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's that fancy magic what makes you believe it's something there, because I don't feel anything from the whiskey I just drank.
Give it time.
Yeah. Why would I should go? Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna feel it in the morning.
And
What is he going to
passes
feel?
out.
Do you want to take this one, or should I?
You know what? Just how about I buy the little one a shot? Kid. Something along the lines of Kitty's first alcohol.
Oh, well, you said you said little one. I thought you were gonna give me one, but okay.
You have access to the supply. I don't.
And also, that one over there. He points to the halfling next to you. I mean, she's even littler, so I mean, could have meant her too.
Jesus! Didn't even notice that she was there.
Well,
That's
Nova
the
looks over like,
point.
oh my god.
so Bridget, now that you're able to actually get through some things, why don't you let's have Holly join the scene.
Holly missed half the scene, so I'm just kind of amused by what I'm catching up with right now.
Okay, well, let me give you the quick rundown. So basically, they're just chatting, they're just socializing. Apparently, Nova, who's this not really small. I mean, he's still much larger than you. Like human wearing a large scarf. Apparently knows a lot about lizard folk. Him and the large lizard folk ranger next to him were just holding hands a moment ago, just in a bit of a long handshake of introduction. Nothing untoward there. And meanwhile, this large hyena person is being very gruff and grumpy and just knocking back the whiskey. And then he decided to be cheap later on. And there's also a cowboy sounding gnome at the end of the bar who's just kind of like piping in whenever he feels it's comical.
Well, at this point, I think Holly would just be kind of sipping her ale and watching over the top of her glass at the adorableness going on in front of her, and then kind of keeping an eye on this hyena person, because the more unruly they get, the easier they'll be to pickpocket later.
Oh my.
not that I have anything like that in mind, but that's just kind of the thing she'd do. Just like, hey.
I mean, he's got gold.
Exactly, and he's a little bit drunk, and she's thinking about it, but with all of the weirdness going on, it's kind of like a play your cards right kind of thing. But mainly, she's just amused that no one's noticed her thus far. And
That's a 10 on insight. Do I get a hint that this halfling might try to rob me?
Roll. You know what? Next time you want to make a roll, ask me first because I would have had you do disadvantage.
Sorry.
But no, you have like no gauge on whether or not this halfling is going to rob you or not, because she hasn't really made any overt whatevers to really suggest this.
Yeah, it was more of a joke roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that you realize that there's this small halfling sitting next to you, Osnar, do you have anything to say to them?
So, wait a second. All four of us are going to the same place tonight, right?
I think.
We're going to a... Okay, let me put it simply in the best way I can so no prying ears can say this. We're all following the bartender after he closes up shop.
I was just told to sit here.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I was told as much.
That's not sketchtacular at all. I'm game.
Turns back around in his seat and gives Regis a death glare.
Regis is just standing there rather, not even paying attention to you, just casually wiping that bar glass again. And it's at that moment you hear something in your head. I could see you looking at me like that.
Sir, get out of my head.
I'll get out of your head when you get out of my bar.
Just turns back around to the rest of the group, going, right. That was an interesting conversation.
None of you realize what the hell that was. You heard nothing.
Did the rest of us hear that?
No, you did not.
No. What are
Okay.
you talking about?
Nothing. I'm just going to... I'm just going to relish in the fact that I've been forced to socialize today. Great.
I don't think he can hold his ale.
First off, little miss, it was whiskey, not ale. And second off, I can hold my drink just fine.
Just
Well,
make
how
sure
much
you
would
can
you
hold
like
your
it?
wallet.
Can I please insight that?
Well,
Oh, yes, you can. You can totally insight that.
That's a 15.
Okay. So now, Holly, here's since you're new to this game, I will explain to you what's going to go on. This is something that's kind of referred to as social combat. Now, have you taken a look at your character sheet, like in the game yet, like in the Roll20 environment yet?
Not entirely. No, I just got the darn thing up and working.
Okay. All right. So now, were you being truthful that you have your intentions of robbing him, or were you just kind of like putting it out there as a joke?
I was being a sarcastic little shit.
Okay. All right. So what I'd like you to do then is to roll an insight check. And you can either do it on the die, and I'll go over the character sheet stuff with you another time between now and next session. So if you just roll a d20 and add your modifier for insight, we'll be able to determine.
All right, I rolled a 12. how do I know what my modifier for insight is?
Okay. Do you have the character sheet that you made up earlier? Because, or I'll just pull your character sheet up here myself. Bear with me.
I was gonna say I've got it. I'll have to pull it up real quick. Let's see if my computer will behave.
Let's not chance things. Let me see here.
Behave, baby.
All right, so your insight is a +1. So, and apologies, you rolled a 12. Bridget?
Oh, did you lose me again?
No, I got you
Hello?
now. Yes. So you rolled a 12, right?
Yes, a
Oh.
12.
Okay. All right. So with that 12, so Uznar's insight of 15 beat out your insight of 12, and you were able to successfully convey, based on that, that you're joking with that. Like that's not a threat. He was able to read you pretty well, like a book. Not quite that successful, but he was able to read you pretty well. So he knows you're joking.
I will tell you exactly the Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to, yeah, not much of a wall to grab onto, unfortunately. Baby, I'll suggest targeting Regis over there. He's bound to have more than I do.
Bold of you to assume I have gold on my person.
That's called humor. I'm trying it out for the first time.
Oh, I know. I laughed. It was funny. It was a good try.
Oh, is this a good time to bring out my joke book?
Might as well, kid. Go for it.
Oh dear God.
So with that, we're gonna cut away from that. We're not gonna go into the joke book. We're gonna take a quick little break before we join our friends in the back room to see what they're all talking about. Yeah, let's adjourn for about 10 minutes. Everybody, please mute your microphones if you're not going to be, just kind of sitting here and interacting with chat. But yeah.
I
Back
will
in
talk
10.
with the chat.
Okay.
Yep, and I will go use the bathroom.
Excellent information.
Don't worry, Levi, I love him too.
Oh, by the way, D, were we going to deal with errata tonight, or is that for a different night?
Since it's been like 3 weeks since, we had the first episode, we're not going to really even touch on it just yet. Like, unless it becomes story relevant. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're not going to touch on it tonight, though.
Yoki doke.
Nobody asked the
Yes.
name of the gnome.
Because nobody cares.
Whoa. Hostile.
Love you.
Yeah, he's Mr. Drunkerson.
Drunky.
That's
I mean,
It's all.
like, this
it's
would
old man
be the
Willikers.
first habitual drunk Nova has ever been around. He wouldn't really know how to break that ice.
It's all right, guys. This is where old man Willikers went.
Finally. Finally found the bastard.
Found him.
It's like we've been
Got him.
playing Where's Waldo with the fucking universe.
Whoa.
And we won!
Oh,
We won! Finally!
All right, so I just
What are you
wanted
looking
to just want to touch on this real quick. Lisk, thank you so much for the $10 donation. A tip for the good bartender. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Thank you, Lisk.
Yeah, thank
Cool.
you.
Thanks.
You should just have that as a sound clip whenever someone donates.
We just need a sound clip. Anytime anybody donates, just everybody going, "Thanks, Lisk."
Yeah, Lisk. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and watch. If we do that, there's going to be like a really tense moment that'll get interrupted by that, and I'll just have.
By that.
Be fine. Be fine.
Just take my hand. Take my hand.
Thanks, Lisk. No, there was
Shit. Here we go.
there was a great moment that you guys were talking about, like where you're going with the bartender, and for some reason my mind immediately started thinking of Electric Six's gay bar.
Yeah, I saw.
I saw that in the chat.
We totally need a donate thing that allows people to play different noises, and one of those has to be like, "I want to take you to a gay bar."
And you know what? It's not going to be a clip from the song. It's going to be you, like that literal
be
clip
awesome.
you just said.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only sound bites we're getting is just one for each of us.
Oh man, no, that would be amazing. Is what would you pick for your soundbite if that was our choices? Is like a soundbite from each of us, but it could be anything you wanted it to be.
Be great.
That's a hard choice.
I know, right?
You can coin one as your own forever.
This is yours. There are many
And
like
I'm
it,
back.
but this one is yours.
Yes, Dax Bro. My personal one would be a sip.
I
Well, that's more of a
That's
slur.
something I need to consider.
And yay, Shadow Draco, one of my people that I know and one of my New Zealand chats is in. Yay!
Hey.
Yep.
Woo!
So
Welcome.
me self-promoting this didn't work, didn't do nothing at all. Yeah.
Oh, God.
That reminds me, I have like 17 different chats that I could spam the link in.
Yeah. You could.
I'm not playing my character too itchy, am I?
Nah.
Just
Yeah.
the right
I'm-
amount.
Yeah, I'm currently just going. Look, I'm just a teenager who does not want to be out in public right now. Can we just get this over with?
It's just a mood.
Okay, gang, I'm going to step away from the mic for a little bit. I will be back shortly.
No glee,
All
no
right.
glee.
No, Nova's just trying not to poke the bear. Or the knoll in this case.
Don't boop the snoot.
Boop the snoot.
Boop the
I'm
snoot.
sorry. Sorry, who's trying to boop the snoot?
I am always trying to boop the snoot.
Shit.
Go for it. Go for it.
Craig.
Try and boop the snoot.
I wish to pet this creature.
Yeah, and that's me going out for what happens when the boop happens. I bite your hand.
It's like roll initiative.
Django.
Initiative for snoot booping.
Who got there first, the boop or the bite?
I believe that would be a
Jingle.
contesting dexterity check.
Yeah, fair, certainly would be.
Probably.
Dex saving throw to avoid the boop.
You roll a nat 20, you just dive out of the way like an action hero.
Yeah, like the Matrix, you just
All-
back down.
It's just all slow motion.
No,
You get a
no,
nat
it's-
one.
You fall
You-
into
you
it.
just- Yeah, you
They just, like,
actively fall
Bomb
into
your
the-
entire
the boot.
face.
No, it goes from a boop to a bap.
It's like bad puppy.
It's like smack one more thing.
I'm not dead yet.
He'll
And
be
another
stone dead in a
thing.
minute.
That old
And another
man voice
thing.
kills me.
Oh. Can I just say I love all of you?
Well, thank you.
My
And
heart
I
too big.
and I am
Love
not
makes the world go
and
round.
I am not drunk when I say that.
Aw, well, you too.
Yeah.
I don't know, Miko. Say that again into this little device.
I'm telling you, Oscar, I'm not drunk. I love you, man.
My
See, tell the
God!
time.
My God! Your blood has been completely replaced by alcohol.
I secretly have auto brewer syndrome. My stomach produces alcohol.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I can give you one of my medical books.
Okay, and I'm back in.
Welcome back, D. Perfect timing.
Yeah, I heard some of that. I heard some of that.
Okay.
Children.
All right then.
Okay, so let's see. Do we have everyone back?
Only one who's not back is Dan, by the looks of it.
Ah, yeah, seems that way.
Oh, I'm back. I just had the mic muted.
Okay, good. All right, so
Sound off.
no, I can.
Yeah, I'm
One,
sorry.
two,
Liar.
3, 4. Sorry.
Hey, Yodel if you're here.
No, do not.
Don't make me. Don't make me. I will.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
No.
tempt me.
All right, so we're gonna jump back from break in just a moment. I just want to make sure. Quick roll call. Cheryl, are you here? Cheryl?
I'm done unmute myself.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Salix, you're here, right?
Yes, I am here.
Let's see. And Miyoko, you're here, right?
I am here. Hi.
Okay. All right. And everybody else, if you could please mute yourselves. We are going to jump back into it. Our fourth player for this group, this particular subgroup, was unable to make it tonight because sadly she's feeling sick. So I'm just going to kind of give like a brief NPC run through of like any relevant story information for her. Okay. So now, Forrest, you were led into this back room by a large blue jay gentleman and a small grumpy halfling gentleman.
By two very shady, obviously criminals.
Two very shady apparent criminals, yes. Obvious, but definitely apparent. Yes, and you were tailed by somebody who's obviously not a criminal, the dwarven cleric, Tirza Kaldlod, and you communicated with her briefly through telepathy, and so the two of you were brought you're brought down a hall to a door, and there's nothing remarkable about this door. It's just a plain wooden door. But that's when the blue jay knocks, and the door opens. All right, everybody in.
Perception check to see if I notice any dangers or threats.
That would be in this case.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess perception would be relevant, but
I apologize. I jumped the gun on that roll.
yeah, and actually you're not even here yet. You're not here yet,
Okay,
Salix.
No.
Oh, well, shit. I'm sorry.
Talking. That was me.
I'm seeing Salix's mic going off. Sorry, I'm sorry. I saw Salix's mic going off, and I thought that it was him talking for a second. Salix, if you wouldn't mind muting your mic for a sec. Thank you. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes. So you were looking for any obvious signs of danger. What
Yeah, just quick check through, just like, like, is there somebody standing behind the door with a dagger or something like that?
you would have no way of seeing that. But what was your roll? What was your total?
6.
Okay. Yeah. You have no idea. For all you know, this is gonna be just another bloodbath for you.
All right, well, nothing else I can do, so shrug and walk in.
So you walk in and you're followed by Tirza, and immediately followed by the Blue Jay and the Halfling. The Blue Jay closes the door behind him. There was apparently no other person in this room, um, and this is a rather nice hotel suite. There are two very large beds. The floors are carpeted, which is huge. Like you don't see carpeting in a place like this. This is a sure sign of
Mhm.
luxury. Um, the furniture is very well crafted, very nice ornate oak furniture, um, and there's apparently a door at the far end of the room. You don't know what it leads to. Could be a closet, could be one of those new bathrooms you keep hearing about. Who knows? But this place is rather lavish. Yeah, just take a seat
Okay.
anyway. You won't.
Forrest is just going to, like, probably not quite in the center of the room, but she's definitely not going to sit down and is just going to cross her arms.
All right, suit yourself. Suit yourself. And Tirza just takes a seat nearby. And it's after a few awkward moments, unless you have something that you want to interject with one of these gentlemen, who both of them are just like leaning against the wall.
Yeah, Forrest is going to say to the Blue Jay, so exactly who is it that I am waiting for, or that we are waiting for?
Well, didn't you know you have that letter for him?
I do have the letter, but as far as I know, I was simply returning something to someone else. I do not know the person.
Well, I don't know any explanation I could give to you that would give you additional information. So, let's just say you're meeting Bounty right soon. Hmm. And that's a
Very well.
halfling.
Very well.
Yeah, we should. We're kind of waiting on a few more people, I think, and then we're all gonna go meet together.
I would like to insight check that statement.
Go ahead.
That sounds really shady. Rolled a 13 plus 1, so 14.
All right, and let me. Shit, my phone just decided to not. Hang on, please hold. I suppose I could just use the dice roller in Roll20, but I have so many windows open.
I mean, you know.
Get out of here, you. Oh, come on. Da da da. Roll20. What are we gonna do with you? That wasn't supposed to show up, but hey. Okay.
It was covered by my character. Nope, there it is on Twitch.
There it is on Twitch, exactly. Yep. So he's not being deceptive. He's being pretty honest. He's just, shielding a lot of information.
Do I get the sense that Well, no, you said he's not being threatening or anything like that.
Nope, nope. You are not in any danger, at least not from him. The small halfling though, the angry looking halfling, who knows? But you get the feeling that he just kind of gives off that energy anyway.
All right, then Forrest will sigh and unless Terza has anything to add, she'll just wait.
She does not, because I don't know what direction Bella wants to take her as a character. So we're gonna proceed as normal. Okay. So it's at that moment that there's another knock at the door, and the door cracks open for Weira.
Hello there.
Oh, all right.
So, I believe I have a package for one of you.
Yeah, you did.
Points to the big blue bird.
You got a package for me.
And she pulls out a package from the little duffel bag she has over her shoulder.
All right. I have a feeling I know what this is already. It's your fault.
It's
Just
a
open it.
bomb.
Shh. Don't spoil the surprise. You don't know who that was or where it came from. Anyway. Well, you're the one who is taking lead on this anyway. I suppose that it would have to be addressed to you, if not to, the employer. Right, all right. Let me take a look here. So he takes the package from Weira. And it's at this point that Weira is also followed by Fringle, the tiny gnome that was so stealthily sneaking but was given away by his ever bobbing hair antenna. And he just,
Hello.
oh Jesus!
Oh God.
And again, you say Jesus. Like, who the hell is Jesus? Well, I said Jesus. Jesus. Cheese.
Why are you talking about cheese?
No worries. Just get in here. Get in here.
No, okay.
Crying out loud. Let me guess, you got a package too, don't you?
Maybe. I'm looking for someone named Ixander
Oh. Holy crap, it's for me. And that's...
and his benefactor.
Oh. Well, it's not like it's going to be a carnival prize or anything. Alright, let me take that. Anyhow.
Here you go. And he hands the package to him, scared out of his wits. Very obviously nervous.
Why don't you better take a seat in here, any way you like.
Okay.
Instead of taking a seat, she goes and leans up against the wall.
Pringle's gonna sit in a chair and wait.
Forrest will nod to each of them.
Tirza is just sitting there with a blank expression. No one knows what she's what she's thinking. Oh, anyway. So it's at this moment that Ixander and Islington, Islington's a blue jay, by the way, for those who didn't know. Islington, they both open their packages, which are strangely identical to each other, and they unfurl the paper, and they look at the contents. Seems about right. Yeah. Seems about right. It's that kind of day. We knew it was coming. I suppose so. And they both put them away in their respective pocket pouches. And they both just resume leaning against the wall.
Forrest just kind of raises an eyebrow.
So You wouldn't happen to know any priests of Kindrum, would you?
Do we look like the do we look like the church going type?
Not even slightly.
That's who I got it from.
What did he look like? Do you remember?
He had one leg, and he put a gun up to my head.
They both have just the biggest quizzical look on their face. They're like, "What?"
It seems
You
decidedly unpriest-like.
Hmm.
I was walking down the road, and there was a man with one stump where his leg was supposed to be bleeding out, and he had a gun pointed at me and pulled out the symbol of Kindrum from his shirt. His leg was wrapped in what I assumed to be vestments. That it was hard to tell because they were covered in blood. He tossed me that satchel, yelled at me with a gun to my head to go find you, and then proceeded to force me away. So I walked away, and when I turned around, I heard a gunshot, and when I turned back around to look, he was gone.
Now, when you say he was gone, you mean did he die or did he just disappear? What happened?
He was gone, and there were birds.
There were birds.
There was a flock of birds flying away from where he was bleeding out at.
Oh God! They Oddworld aped him.
To do what now?
That was out of character. Sorry.
Yeah, that was above game.
Sorry.
Oh God, yes, yes. Oh damn. Okay. All right. So, well, I can definitely tell you that was certainly no priest of Kendrum.
Well, then hopefully he doesn't die from pretending to be a priest.
Sounds to me, hopefully he doesn't die by turning himself into a bunch of birds this close to hunting season.
Fair enough.
But isn't it rabbit season?
What?
It was duck season.
Nah, it's damn it.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Damn it, damn it.
Laura says that
Damn
with just a totally serious look.
Damn it.
Um,
Damn it.
What exactly is going on?
Ooh.
Yeah?
Shit, somebody's mic just went crazy. Okay, anyway, back in character.
Well, currently you are sitting in a room with several strangers and and at this point she just kind of looks at the blue jay and the grumpy gnome, you said?
Halfling.
Halfling, sorry. At the grumpy halfling with two upstanding members of the community.
He's talking about us. She's talking about us there. I know. Yes.
Well, this is kind of the first time I've ever met a Kinku or Tabaxi. So this is a little weird, but
I would say this was the first time meeting what you are, but I don't know.
I am a gnome.
It is a pleasure to meet you, gnome.
My name is Pringle.
Pringle. My
Yes.
name is Forrest.
A pleasure to meet you. What about you? Standing on the wall.
Moira.
Nice to meet you.
curious what we're all doing here.
You'll find out
Indeed.
soon enough. We're just waiting.
Apparently, meeting someone by the name of Blunt.
that was
Like hammer?
mm,
I sincerely hope that the real nickname is not the Hammer. I do not wish to meet a hammer.
well, interesting fact there, and that's when Xander actually shushes Islington. Shh. Oh, right. Suppose not. Indeed. They're both just
And
leaning with it, kind of like looking at the ground, just leaning on opposite walls, kind of like staring, towards each other's like foot level.
Forrest is going to look at Weira
You see
and
Weira.
use telepathy because I specifically have to be looking at the person.
Mhm.
Use telepathy and say into her mind, if they decide to pull weapons on us, I will attempt to disable the halfling.
Alright. Hopefully it does not come to that.
You'll die before you even try. What in the actual hell?
Forrest just kind of smiles.
The halfling doesn't break his gaze towards the floor. That was audible, by the way. Everybody heard that.
Heard the thinking or him going, what the hell?
No, him. Well, no, nobody's. I said, "What the hell?" as the above
Okay.
game DM. No, what he said was, "You'll die before you get a chance." Like that was spoken out loud.
Then my reaction does not change. Forrest just smiles.
Before a chance to do what?
Sings.
Never
Um,
mind.
I would rather not do things.
I would rather not as well, but if necessary.
Seems like we're the only ones who. We aren't the only ones who can be vague and threatening.
Say that again, D.
Seems like we're the only ones. Ah, god damn it. Retake. Seems like we're not the only ones who can be vague and threatening.
Well, standing in a led off to a room by two very shady characters.
Ah,
May
you said we were
possibly
upstanding
threaten them.
earlier.
I did indeed. She just has that meme of Daenerys just smiling condescendingly.
Did you
And
though?
but it says some people, shady characters, lead myself and one other back to a room, tell us we are waiting for people, and it just sounds like an ambush. So, some vagueness may apply.
Ava's just leaning against the wall, looking amused at the entire exchange.
Fringle's just nervously shaking.
Trust me, if either of us wanted to ambush you, you'd never see it coming.
Oh, I would sincerely hope that you are more intelligent than leading us back into a room openly.
Well, you'd hope correctly. We're not here to get the jump on you.
Good, then we will not have an issue.
I have a question. Since I delivered your package, can I go?
No. And also, Islington also said that in unison, but I'm not talented enough to speak in two voices in unison at once.
One day. One day.
Someday. Okay.
Then it seems we are simply waiting then.
Now she gets it. Anybody else want to communicate with each other here?
So, Forest, was it?
Yes?
Um, where are you from? Your robe is very, very pretty.
Well, I appreciate it. And I wish that I could give you an answer.
Oh, okay
It
then.
is I apologize. It is not because I do not wish to give you an answer. I do not know.
You don't know where you're from, or you don't know where the dress is from?
Both.
Oh, okay then.
Hey, Wayra, during that little exchange, what's your passive perception?
Uh,
Say that again.
so perception is 12.
Okay. Let me check something here. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. I don't know why I'm doing the Superman theme.
Because it's fun.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay, I think I gotta play this now. So, Wayra, immediately after Forrest said that she doesn't remember anything, basically, you notice Islington and Xander sharing a very tense, like, did you hear that kind of glance at each other before going back to their original positions.
Is continuing to look very relaxed, but is keeping a very close eye on those two.
Okay. All right. So with that, we are going to go back to the bar. So if everybody else could be so kind as to mute themselves. Okay. Oh, apologies. It looks like one of our players is having computer difficulties again. All right. Well, so let me think how to play this now. A few hours pass, and eventually, the local townspeople, they filter out of the Boar's End, and the people who are staying at the inn that's built here, they all, excuse me, they all go back inside, into their own little suites and rooms and bunkhouses, what have you, that whatever they're renting, um, and even the drunken gnome from earlier kind of staggers off out the front door, and it's at this point that Rengus talks to the four of you. He says, "All right, well, that's the last call, so let's get going." And he starts walking towards the back rooms. And
Nova quietly gets up and starts to follow.
and since Dragon unfortunately is having issues, I'm just going to presume like they all get up and follow. Dan, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. And Bridget, are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. So the four of you are following behind Rengus as he finally sets that damn bar glass down at the end of his bar, and he starts walking back towards the back area of the bar. And as he does so, he taps on the side of the booth where a large cockatiel and a small peach colored kobold are sitting. And he says to the kobold, "All right, come on, it's time." And
Hmm?
the kobold looks to Avning and does a head nod. Okay, let's follow. And gets up from the booth.
Yeah, and I'll just sigh and get up.
Okay, so you have Regis leading everybody back behind, back into the hotel area, and he goes up to the door that, well, you guys wouldn't recognize it, but everybody who's been through here so far, they know it's the same door. And he gives a couple knocks. That's not the knock, Regis. Look, it's my bar. It's my hotel. It's my inn, whatever. It will respond to anything I knock on, okay? Well, you say that, but it's still not open yet. Hang on. And that's when he just kind of just whumps the door with his fist. And it opens. And so that's when everybody in the party is gathered together in this very lavish looking suite, hotel, like, yeah, hotel suite. Yes, that's the word. All right, so can I go now, or am I a part of this too? He asks to Islington, and Islington responds, "You know, you're gonna want to come with us. You don't have to. Obviously, we can't tell you to do it or not, but I'm sure the boss would be appreciative." All right, fine. I owe him one. And that's when Islington, Ixander, and Regis go towards the back door of this suite. And this time Islington knocks. And the door opens. And the room is kind of just flooded with the smell of like basement mold. that that kind of smell. Um, all right, follow us. And the three of them lead on into this dark hallway of sorts.
And a more cutthroat crew of villainy was never found. And she just follows along.
Avenue reluctantly follow, standing very proper as they walk.
All right. Well, so here you are, a rather ragtag-looking group of strangers. Um, 9 of you in total, plus the 3 gentlemen leading on. You're led down this staircase that goes down quite a few feet. Like you would probably assume about 25 feet or so. And you're in this dank, brick-lined, cold, moldy smelling, cobwebby, you name it. Like this hallway that's lined with just a few candles that kind of magically seem to spark up just a few feet before the group of 3 leading on.
Well, this is nice.
Not exactly the words I would use, but
How about terrifying?
Might I ask where we're going?
Oh, I forgot to tell you that Momo was there too because Momo is
Oh.
short. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
She's wow. Holy shit. Forget my own damn character that I so painstakingly drew. Okay.
Shame.
All right. So nobody responds. They just keep moving.
Ushna looks back, looks at Fingal and goes, how do you keep your hair like that?
But like what?
I mean, the pompadour takes hours for me to do. I'm just looking for hairstyle tips here, my dude.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I did with my hair was put it in a ponytail.
You did not...
stops at this point, turns around, walks over to this gnome, and just literally grabs him by the hair and pulls him up to his face.
Let go of me, please.
The bit that I'm currently grabbing you by. How the hell did you do that?
I didn't do anything. It's just like that. Please let go of me.
All right, look there, Stripey. Don't make me restrain you. Put the gnome down.
Nova internally cringes.
Yeah.
I'll be finding you later so I can figure out this mystery. Puts the gnome down, continues down the pathway.
Ow.
Could I just say, Felix, I fucking love Frinkle.
Thanks.
So what feels like after several hundred yards of walking along this straight, narrow, dimly lit kind of fortress-like hallway, you eventually come to a stone door. And I want you all to... No, you know what? You all are going to get this. It kind of smells like death around here. Rotting.
Uh-huh.
In addition to
Don't like that.
the musty, moldy smell. So you come to the stone door, and Ren just puts his hand upon the door, and it slides with a grinding noise to the side.
If I may
Right.
be...
When Wayra smells all this, her hand is going right to her sword.
Yeah, before Ren just does that, would it be possible to make a perception check and see if there's any sort of symbolism or anything on the door?
Go for it.
Or around?
In fact, actually, knowledge religion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, I'll absolutely re-roll that piece of shit roll. Alright. God damn it. 7. 4 plus 3.
Oh boy, that's a it's a collection of religious symbols. Nothing particularly meaningful about them being gathered here together. You know, you've seen a lot of religious symbols before. But yeah, you know, no big.
I definitely have seen a lot of religious symbols before. Alright.
Could I look at the symbols myself?
Sure.
Of my religious background.
Sure. I'll let you do it with advantage.
Sweet. Oh, thank God. 19.
So the way that these symbols are oriented in particular, you notice at the very top of this, excuse me, of this sort of array of like the different religious symbols that you have seen previously, you notice at the top is the symbol of... Let me get back here. The symbol of Wamun, the goddess of death.
Ooh, right when Abney sees that, they just. Oh. I don't like the look of this.
as the as the door slides open, you see an undead knoll waiting there, like just no eyes in his sockets, just two dim red lights, half rotted away. His face is half rotted away. He smells bad, and his clothing is rotted away as well. He just kind of stands there and goes, "Oh, easy,
He
easy."
tries to hide behind Cheryl.
Immediate just
Sorry.
energy forming in Forrest's hand.
Immediately grabs the sword.
Pringle tries to run away as far away as possible.
Steady on, everybody. Steady on. Steady on. And Fringle, since you tried to run away, guess what? You are frozen in place. Everybody, easy. All right, take it easy. He's a friend. It's fine.
That does not help your case. When you have an undead friend.
Wait a minute.
I mean, you're not wrong, I guess. But trust us,
Wait.
he's harmless.
Wait a second. Is this Fletcher Montrose?
Huh? Oh no. This isn't Fletcher Montrose. No, this is another dead guy that somebody talked about today.
Looks at Momo.
Momo just
That's-
says, yeah. She just nods. Mm-hmm. And she sips her tea that she brought with her.
Does your friend have a name?
Oh yeah, Wrathbone. And Wrathbone
Nova
gives a
goes
thumbs
quiet.
up.
Basil?
No, not Basil Rathbone. Just this is
The
a significant name to somebody.
The energy immediately disappears from Forrest's hand, and she just says, "Any relation to Monkey?"
You cut out at the punchline. Sorry, go ahead.
She says, "Any relation to Monkey Bone?"
Who the hell's that?
Don't worry about it.
Question.
That's-
Answer.
How long ago who brought him to life?
Oh, that's a long story in itself. And
Did
even,
they-
Don't need a story, just need the name.
it's best we don't speak the name for fear of it giving additional power to them.
Them who?
Anyone can roll an insight check if they want to on Ushnar at the moment.
Yes,
totally rolling insight.
100%.
I'm gonna roll it 2.
It's not going to be difficult.
Fucking hate these rolls.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Thank you, Dan.
That's a nat 20 for a total of 24.
Yep. Dan, Suja, you physically are seeing Ushna holding back from just wanting to just kill this thing and let this soul of this gnoll and let the whatever encases this gnoll's body go. He is physically trying not to he's resisting killing this thing. He does not like seeing this happen to his people.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It was none of us who did it, and we've been trying to not let him have it. Like, not happen, It's kind of a long story. It's, look, it's best if you just meet our employer. He's just beyond here. He'll fill you in better.
Alright, we'll just,
I just basically does the whole shoulder check thing as Ushina walk past them and just continues going past, continues heading forward.
So as you shoulder check them, Rengus is like a solid friggin' rock.
Don't care. I'm doing it.
Just
Noel,
let,
don't.
just letting you know.
Noel, Noel, don't do anything brash.
Whoa.
What are you talking about? I'm completely fine.
I assume Pringle is still frozen in place, by the way.
Oh no, Frinkle, you've been released by now. You're just being kept an eye on, and you're supposed you, yeah. You're beckoned over by Rengus after everybody else walks their way into the crypt.
Just before they walk further, Nova, like still in safe distance, before he walks off, it turns to it. You do not know me, and I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you. And then he joins the rest.
Wrathbone just gives a thumbs up.
Uh, Forrest, before walking in, is actually going to go to Fringle and just gently place a hand on his shoulder.
Yes.
Stick by me, friend. I will, I
Right,
will
I'll do
what
that.
will do what I can to make sure you are safe.
Okay. Let's go.
So you're all led into this conference room sized crypt of sorts. And at the center of this crypt is an open stone coffin that has, and it seems to be like this coffin um, is being used as like a desk or a conference table of sorts, going along things. There's different papers, there's different notes, um, there's like just crumpled up pieces of paper. There's a map of the world with like different pins like kind of just stuck into the map, and like threads of like black string just strung between the pins. And there's candles. This room is actually, in contrast to the hallway, quite well lit. And you notice that the um, tomb at the center, the casket at the center, um, is actually, kind of cracked open a bit off to the side. It is completely empty inside, and you do note at the foot of this stone sarcophagus, written in common, is the surname Rathbone. So this is probably the tomb of this undead knoll that's hanging out in here. And there's a bunch of different wooden chairs just kind of like arranged around the conference table slash sarcophagus. All right, everybody have a seat. Boss will be here in a moment.
I
Avniel
go.
just.
Shrugs
Yep.
and takes a seat.
I stand. I stand. I put my back against the wall at the inch. Put my back against the closest wall.
I stand near the chairs, but I don't sit down.
Holly grabs a chair, pulls it back, sits in it, and puts her little feet up on the makeshift table. Crosses her arms.
Avniel
Nova
look at
politely
this.
sits down.
Avniel look at the sarcophagus, make and say a brief prayer, and then sit down.
Rathbone gives a thumbs up.
Avniel just nervously give one back.
And Rathbone then gives an okay sign.
You're like, right, yes.
All right, so now that everybody's here, I think the boss will be here momentarily. And at the other end of this room, there is another stone door, and that stone door, pretty much just as soon as the words leave um, Islington's mouth, slides open, and before you, and I'm pulling this up now because Come on, do the thing that I.
In before it's a lich.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
I would actually.
This dwarven gentleman, dressed rather finely. Oh shit! Hold on, it's not showing up on stream. God damn it! Thank you. Thanks a bunch. All right. Please hold. Thank you for totally spoiling this, you silly system. Hang on.
Thank you for calling Delta Airlines. How may we assist your call today?
Come on. Do. This is super important, otherwise I totally wouldn't even bring it up, so. Come on. Oh, of course you're a broken link. Why wouldn't you be? Folks, I do just want to let you know that we're doing our best to bring you the best in live entertainment, and we certainly hope that you enjoy coming out here today. Thank you for choosing Under Fractured Sky.
Riding the airwaves as hard as we can.
As hard as we can.
Well, apparently, we did it too hard because they're broken.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
Excuse me.
Don't die. When Gotham is in ashes, then you have my permission to die. Yeah, I totally baned it. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Showing to everyone.
Yes.
There we go. There's the lad.
Yay.
So this rather poshly dressed dwarf gentleman in a black, gold, and white outfit with a golden cane shaped like a hammer and little golden baubles, around like the braids of his beard, just kind of steps in. And when I say steps in, it's more like he limps in, using the cane to kind of keep himself steady. So I take it that we have everyone, right? That's the dwarf. And Ixander just nods. All right. The four of you can leave us. It'll be just the 10 of us. And everybody else leaves. All the other party members, not party members, sorry. All the other, I guess, guides had, they leave through the other door, and the door slides behind them, leaving only Wrathbone, this dwarven gentleman here, and the rest of you. So I was told that you have some packages.
Apparently.
I gave mine to the fellow. So, I don't know what he did with it.
The package is addressed to the big blue bird.
Rest assured, I have them in my possession. However, there's a few of you who still have theirs, if I recall correctly.
Avni just has theirs in his lap and just nods.
The dwarf approaches the head of the... whose mic is that? That's getting a little distracting. Thank you. So the dwarf approaches the head of the table, and he pulls something from a pouch from his side and puts it on the on this sarcophagus. And it looks like just a plain black void, like in the shape of a perfect circle, about the size of a hand, maybe a little larger. Rest assured that those things are being kept safe in here, and I would like the rest of them as well. you would be so kind as to deposit your objects into this hole. And he backs away from the table.
Of course, but may I ask who you are?
You're not in a position to ask questions just yet. Please deposit the objects in the hole.
I'm just like, oh. And then just like, well,
Oof.
Ow.
That
Who's
think
Mike?
that might be Cheryl. It's all good. We seem to be good now.
Okay. So at this request, does anybody put up any sort of resistance? Anybody want to defy this order?
I mean,
Forrest-
Willem already gave his away.
Forrest is like raising an eyebrow, but is not sure what he's referring to, so she's not resisting. She just has no idea if she has an item or not.
It's the pocket watch shaped medallion.
I figured as much, but Forrest does not understand.
Okay, so some of you are not complying with this, and I can either only assume that it's because you do not know what I am referring to, or you do not feel that I can be trusted with it.
some
Lem-
clarification would be nice, yes.
I was getting to that, he says rather tersely to you. What do you know about the god of destruction?
Ebony immediately tenses up.
I would like everybody to roll a religion check with disadvantage.
Everybody?
You know, actually, I'm going to skip that because there's a very slim chance that any of you would even catch this. So those of you who know a thing or two about religion, those of you who are members of a religious order, you've never heard of a god of destruction. The closest you can think of is the god of war, Amtare, but he's not explicitly listed as a god of destruction. Judging by your silence, I can definitely assume that you know nothing about the god of destruction.
Forrest's eyes during all of this have just narrowed, but she is definitely keeping silent.
In fact, I would say that the only one here who would understand anything about it would be the cat over there. And he points at Forrest.
She says nothing.
At this point, Ushna has basically put his head back against the wall and has just gone, heck, what have you gotten me into?
Oh, I guess Hack was your mentor there.
You can say that.
I did
Pulls
say
out
that.
pulls out a single pitch black coin from his pocket and just flicks it in the air. I'm guessing this is what you mean.
That would be correct.
Walks over, puts the coin down puts the coffin down on the makeshift desk and just goes, tell me there. Tell me that most of the things he said in that letter to me was true.
In what regard?
Pulls out the letter, just flicks it open, just holds it in front of him.
I've only met this man maybe twice in my entire life. But I can assure you that anything he puts in writing, he probably meant. Now, whether or not that by the time he wrote this, his brain was basically turned to Swiss cheese by as many blows to the head he took. I can't say that. But,
So there's no such thing as the Under Games.
oh, of course there is.
Fine. Just walks back over to where Ushna was really originally standing, and just takes position again.
All right. Does anybody else have any cheerful little outbursts, or you gonna cough up the pitch black metal?
Forrest just she's got one hand in her pouch, and she just simply says, "Are you blunt?"
I've been accused of as much, yes.
Not quite what I meant.
I'm aware. I just wanted to make a joke to show that I'm not entirely coarse.
Fair enough.
My name is Balathor Bolton Blount. I want. Let me think. Who would know? Oh, of course, the one person who would know is not. Yeah, so like it's completely useless for me to even roll an insight for her. So tell you what. Okay, I want Avne and Weira to roll knowledge history for me.
Okie dokie.
Ha,
Soft 20.
Nope. Nope.
I'm sorry, Zul. What'd you roll?
Soft 20.
Soft 20. Okay, so
Rolled a 4.
I saw that. Okay, so
Shit.
Avne, you were well traveled throughout your life, and you have heard this name before. Balthor Bolton Blount is one of the richest men in the entire world. He basically runs the entire gold industry, like for the Dwarven Empire. He basically carries the whole thing on his back. He's a very, very powerful man, but very few people have actually seen him out and about. So, for somebody to make a claim like this, here of all places, is rather bold. But here's what you know about him, other than the fact that he's like pretty much the richest man in the world. He is also the high exchequer for the Dwarven Empire, basically meaning that he controls like the purse strings for everything and keeps track and tally of everything. So he's super world class accountant, basically.
Sorry, I'm writing this down.
Mm-hmm. I can see by the blank expressions on most of your faces that you have no idea who I am. That's fine. That makes things better.
I've heard about you.
Except for this one, but that's fine.
May I say congratulations on your promotion?
Promotion?
She pulls out the note and the pocket watch that she had.
He takes the note and he kind of like nods for you to deposit the pocket watch into the hole that he has created.
And I will also say, likely I am sorry for the loss of your friend.
He nods solemnly. You kind of just hit the nail right on the head. Yeah, he's been dead for about 15 years.
That's what explains the state of the camp.
The camp?
Indeed. I found these at a camp at the base of a mountain.
Of course you did. You've been touched by it, haven't you? He just says aloud for everyone to be able to hear. looking Forrest dead in the eye.
She looks at him and says, "I haven't the faintest idea what you are talking about."
I believe that you do. And it's at that point that he removes his glove and shows you on the back of his hand a rather curious symbol. Um, and if I were smart, I would have actually had this pulled up and ready to go. Um, it basically looks like.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it basically looks like 3 arrows pointing upwards out of a circle, and at the bottom of the circle looks like a white eyeball. So, Forrest, you have seen this before. Roll. You don't even have to roll it. You've seen it. That's the symbol of the entity that spoke to you.
I have to roll something. Of course it is.
Now, what was that roll for?
That was roll for do the dumbs.
Do the dumbs.
Oh no.
Tell us the dumbs.
So, part of me feels like I should apologize to the rest of you, but part of me also feels like you guys are covered. Forrest is immediately. Hold on, let me check this. Actually, no. She is going to calmly reach into her pouch, and she is going to pull out this tiny set of candy tarts and a feather. And I do not have a joke prepared for this, but she casts the spell Hideous Laughter on him.
What's the Is there a DC against? Is there the save?
Yeah. It's let's see. It is a Wisdom saving throw, and the DC is a 14.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Let me roll it.
I'm sure he'll be able to beat this.
Damn it! If I was one level higher, I would have danger sense, and I could bullshit my way saying, "But my danger sense goes off, and I go over and punch Forrest."
My hyena sense is tingling.
She and she's
he clears it.
Yeah, okay. As her free action, just I have such a fucking impasse with this because she doesn't know if she can trust any of you, but she really doesn't have a choice. And she says to the rest of the group, "If you expect to leave here alive, then you will defend yourselves against this man."
Beg your pardon?
Well,
I am rolling insight on that.
Yeah, I am too.
Ellie takes her feet down off the table and looks a little startled for one.
That's a 9.
Well, okay.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna roll an insight too.
Yeah, so will
Oh
Freddy.
my
Oh wow,
God.
that's a nat 1.
You guys.
I got a nat 1.
I got a 16.
Oh my God.
7.
Holy
So, considering that Forrest is not attempting to deceive or anything like that, now of course with all of these low rolls below a 10, DM discretion on whether there's some false info being sent out, but or mixed signals. But Forrest is being completely sincere, and she has definitely recognized something that terrifies her.
Roll intimidation with disadvantage.
Well, she's not trying to well, I guess
She
yeah,
is
in a way
driving. She is trying to drive everybody into a defensive position. She is threat.
with disadvantage.
Oh, you
Oh wow.
A
bitch.
16
Wow.
plus 4
Wow.
to 17 plus 4. 20, motherfucker.
Oh,
However,
you.
I would like to point out, though, it is getting to midnight.
It is. So, you know what? I enjoy cliffhanger as much as anyone else does. So with that,
Oh.
we are ending our session.
I love all of you, and I'm just trying to protect you.
I do want to say one thing. I can imagine this going on, and Jack is just staring at a wall. Like, looks weird.
Just like, okay.
Kira just doesn't look surprised at all. She gets sent on this from a goddamn trickster god of some sort, so
Hey, you know what the best part about all of this? I blew my only spell on that.
Oh,
Hey,
oh, my sweet
guess
summer
what?
child.
So confused.
guess what? Next session, I'm actually go. Next session is just gonna open with me just running up to the wharf and punting him.
Oh, that will be fun.
And Tears is just standing there in the corner, static.
That will be fun. Oh,
I can't believe all of you.
my poor silly children. Look what you've done.
What's going on?
Get
What's
Nova-
down
happening?
mission by
Nova?
a trickster. This is not a surprise.
It's okay.
Nova
Dee.
is good boy.
I'm sure that you've planned something that would defuse the situation in some way without killing us all. I'm sure that this was
Nope,
totally
you should-
foreseen.
Okay.
Look, Yushna's just seen one of his kind used as an undead puppet, and now he's been basically jerked around. He's pissed. He's going to punch
Yeah.
something.
Third
Yeah.
session TPK.
Yep. Yep. This is interesting. Okay. All right. So,
I think this is the fastest
buy
that
me
I
a
have
cup.
ever. I think this is the fastest I have ever screwed up a party.
it's you did good. You did good.
We're not even a party yet.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh fuck.
We y'all's names and character.
All right. Okay. So everybody, I'm gonna read off the people who were so kind as to follow us this evening, and excuse me, and then we'll call it a stream.
Yeah.
Woo.
So, first, Lady Van Helsing, thank you so much for the follow. Shy Puppy,
Yay.
What a Pain, Gum Plum, and Cool DBS, thank you all so much for following. And we will be back next week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 14th, which is actually my birthday.
Yeah.
So look at what y'all done made me do for my birthday.
Man, what
Y'all.
a present.
Hey.
Not
Hey,
just
look, D, I just
know.
handed you the best present. You get a TPK.
Exactly.
yeah, just sure. Let's just have like months of setup. Just go.
Done.
Right
One
down the
session.
toilet.
All right, thanks everybody for showing up. It's been a great show.
Eh.
All right.
Yep. Just letting you know, I've saved and exporting my audio now.
Fantastic. All right. So I am ending the stream. So everybody have a great night.